So, of course, it's me again, back speaking on some things that's definitely on my mind, but like trying to weigh heavy on me. Um, it's been raining outside, but the sun is out, so I just came to sit outside. But anyway, I was watching. I'm gonna try to explain it as best as I can because I really feel pressure, a lot of pressure on me. A lot of like, it's not. I can barely describe it as heaviness because um, let me move this. I don't feel like it can't really be described as heaviness for me because I really feel like God doesn't allow it to weigh down heavy on me. He does allow me to feel like the pressure of certain stuff. And so, that pressure, it gets to the point where I can't even talk straight. Like I feel like winded, if that's how you say it. Like the wind is either about to be knocked out of me or just like, I don't know how to describe it, but was watching this show. Ooh, what am I recording? Was watching this show, this series, Why Women Kill, and I've been watching it since last season, so I'm loving it. Definitely last season was better, but this one getting intense. And it was while I was watching it. This is the seventh episode. It was while and stuff is like trying to get crazy. Hidden truths are starting to come out in crazy ways and stuff like that amongst people that are supposed to be loyal to each other, supposed to be telling each other the truth, like a husband and wife type couple, and it just got intense. Um, and I'm just the type of person that I don't like for this stuff. I don't like for stuff to be covered up, and I think whatever part that I've participated in covering up things, I'm talking about from like early childhood up until I can't say now, but recently, whatever has been covered, um, that I may have played a role in helping to cover, knowing or unknowingly, it's something that has weighed down. It's like it comes from a corrupt, fallen world, and it just pressures you to do that. But I see how it gets really messy. It gets really ugly. So I am interested in seeing how this whole thing is gonna be cleaned up. Like I like the last episode in the last season where the girl ended up, it was so interesting. Her husband had oh god, her husband had cheated on her, and then um she came home. He was cheating on her in her house, which is already just downright nasty, foul, trifling. And she came home, and I guess he was trying to rush the girl out. The girl, upon rushing out, she left the side gate open, and the mom and the wife knew that she always closes the gate. So with that gate left open from his cheating, um, their daughter was able to get outside the gate and go out into the street and get hit. So basically, it was his actions of cheating, dishonesty, and all that that caused his own the death of his own daughter. Ooh, I don't know why I stuttered in saying that. Because I be feeling this stuff too when I'm talking about it on a spiritual level. So, you know. But anyway, it was his cheating and stuff that caused the death of his own daughter. Trying to cover himself and cover it up. He was careless in watching over his own child. He should have been watching over his child. He was at home with her. The mom came home, and then he allowed the mom and wife to believe, mom slash wife, should I say, to believe that she really did something wrong that whole time. That she was the one who left the gate open and forgot to close the gate. I mean, he literally like that. That's just devious. It's oof. So then, when all this stuff happened and everything starts to blow up, she goes to the job and she finally finds out from the lady he was cheating with, which is also his secretary and all this. So she was posing as secretary, plus she was the side chick or whatever. That's crazy. I mean, he was just shitting where he eat, work, everything. He was just nasty. That's just foul. So she told him. She told the wife, and she cried and she apologized. She confessed and all that. And the wife was like, "Don't worry about it. Don't ever say nothing else about it to anybody. Don't let nobody tell." She said, "The only way I'll forgive you is if you just don't tell nobody that you told me that." And she was like, I promise this, that, and the third, whatever. Now, mind you, that lady can go on in another episode and tell or whatever, but I don't know. Hopefully, that's just the way it closed out. So, anyway, the wife knows now that she didn't uh, have anything to do with being careless, which led to her daughter's well, not hit and run. I think the man stayed around, but the death of the daughter. And this is a spoiler for those who haven't seen the first season or, haven't seen it at all. But yeah, she found out, okay, I didn't have nothing to do with that. But my husband, the man that's supposed to love me, this, that, and the third, which he was cheating. He was cheating and got some other girl pregnant and all types of other stuff. That was another part to it. Like, he was just a slime bag. Just nasty. Just remembering it while I'm talking about it is just, ooh. And just imagine that there are people that live like this every single day, just trifling, slimy stuff. And to me, it'd be a lot of men, and I can't say that then I feel like the women be like pressured to fall into the traps and things like that, or to react or to respond to their nastiness. So I don't know. Only God knows the truth or whatever. Um, Me personally, I'm a real person. I'm not a actor or a character, except in God's script and in God, how He. Ooh, some clouds are moving. But yeah, but these are actors that I'm talking about. But I can still relate it to everyday life and things that happen in this world. So he got another girl pregnant, and cheated on his wife, cheated on his wife with his secretary. Lord. So she finds out, okay, I didn't have nothing to do with that. He really allowed me to believe that I did, and that's beyond crazy. Like, that's not love. That's just, you hate her. You hate yourself, but you hate her too. It's just not cool. And I wish I could speak more passionate about it, because I just like, I understand, and I've actually been through this on my own little different level, my own different type of way of going through this. And so, oh my goodness, what else? it just it's just really, it's heartbreaking, and it irks me that they go through so many measures just to cover stuff up and to let lies. I don't think he couldn't have thought that this was a little white lie. He couldn't have thought that this was a little white lie at all. This was just like devious. And I keep mentioning that word devious because I have been connected to some people that are really devious, that have done some devious things, and I guess still trying to cover it up, and they use whoever they can without telling somebody the details. I'm just looking at how these clouds are moving. I don't know. I like it. It's amazing. I'm just looking at these down so quickly. I know that wind from, I guess, tropical storm Esther is blowing winds up. But anyway, they just cover stuff up. And somebody did mention to me before, I was telling my daughter that, you need to worship God in your youth, and you need to worship God in your youth, to have a relationship with Him in your youth. And she had mentioned, well, she was like, oh no, that's just people do that to cover things up. And at that moment, I didn't agree with that. I was like, no, we ain't covering it. Me personally, I'm not covering it. No. The word say, worship God in your youth, give Him your days in your youth, like, as opposed to waiting till you get older after God is the third. That's just what I believe, and that's what I have. It is, honestly, is what I've been trying to apply since I was young, but, maybe in trying to apply that when I was young, it might have, that might be where I went wrong. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but that's what she was saying. On the contrast or contrary to that, I really just, I think it's more so of people that do religion, a certain religion, or just do these rituals and things like that, just to appear godly, but really, just don't have the power. So that's just how I feel or whatever. Just kind of go along with what she said. So I don't completely agree, but I get the understanding of what she meant, or what she was kind of getting at. But yeah, so Anyway, she went on and she didn't let her husband know that until he took his dying breath. But she didn't let her husband know that she knew what he had done all these years ago or whatever. Until after she basically set him up. I mean, she was smart about it too. She was real. It was cool. And she had played this good role as his wife and this, that, and the third. And so it's like her opportunity came where, okay, well, this is what I got to do. So she teamed up with another neighbor, and the neighbor's husband ended up coming down and being the demise of her husband. And that neighbor's husband was um, abusing her. So it's like killing two birds with one stone. Her husband was abusing her, so she used basically an abusive man to come and kill her, basically a cheating man. And then the abusive man got arrested, and then the two women were free to go on and live their lives, basically innocent, didn't do anything. Now I'm saying basically innocent because there's always a twist where when you got criminal behavior, there is like it's like a never ending, like you can't even get to the roots. And I'll never forget, somebody was just telling me, you will never get to the bottom, it's endless. And that's why, me personally, I don't try. Now, do I allow God to flow and give me revelation and understanding? I sure do. It's like I was sitting here minding my business, watching this video, and then I just started feeling this pressure. And I know it's from God. I know that it's, Him moving on me. And I be trying to sometimes ignore it. And I was like, let me just continue watching this show because I don't even want to stop it. But I literally had to pause the show. Like I said, I'm in the second season, but and I'm on episode 7, where it's just been intense. So that is that. And it just almost felt like that pressure. Like, this relates to what's been going on in your life. Like, so many lies have been told. So many side conversations have been had. Here I am sitting on here having a conversation with, well, not with, but on this YouTube, and whoever will hear it, whoever God allows it to hear it, the ears to hear it, is, I guess it's meant for it to hear. Now, later, years from now, whatever the case may be, but it's intense. So anyway, they ended up, that's how they killed two birds with one stone. And I laugh at it because I'm like, your own bull crap is going to come back to bite you because this is what you did. Like, you thought you was getting away with it. Me personally, of course, we all human. I've done stuff. Made mistakes, this and the third. Especially in childhood, I did little stupid stuff or whatever. But I just have purpose in my adult life not to do stuff against people that I knew and understood that this is gonna hurt and affect a person. Um, yeah, I say from the smallest to the largest, but definitely on the larger scale. But he was still, trying to be considerate and be like, you know what, I'm not trying to go there and cause any type of upset with anybody because I have experienced so much upset, heartbreak, all that, you name it. Um, and then I went back and I have apologized to, God has still allowed me to be alive and breathing to apologize to some of these people, some or most or whatever that I have offended, and I knew and I remembered that I offended this person or whatever. And some of them told me, I've already forgiven you. Some of them was like, girl, I need to apologize to you too because I did this. And that's how I like my dealings to be. And then, others was like, oh, I thought that you hated me and whatever. And I'm like, no, it was like this was really what's going on. So it just needed a conversation, needed communication, and some stuff can just be hashed out like that, just with that. And then you can go on living your life. You might not even have to say anything else to that person again. You might not even cross paths, but you did something to somebody, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, some people do it intentionally, some people do it unintentionally, but either way, you did something to somebody and you offended them, and like, and and you can tell and you can understand and comprehend that you did that, you need to try to make it right. So, with that said, there's a lot of people who have done stuff and are still currently doing things to me, and they have not made it right. I don't think they even have no intentions on making anything right. Um, I just went on. I'm like, yeah, it hurt me, and yeah, it still even affects me if I think about it. But they living their life, they doing what they doing, and I can't make nobody apologize. But some people just expect you, just get over it, just move on. Somebody even told me one time, just let that go. And it sounded so good. And I did pretty much let it go. But when they keep on doing something like on a daily or weekly or monthly basis, it's hard to sometimes even forget the first thing that they did because they don't let up. So that's my thing. But I tried to let it go, and I did, and I gave it to God. And like I spoke about on one video previously, he handled that. That had nothing. It had I mean, I'm just going to be real. It has no traces to me and it's untraceable to me because I had nothing to do with that. I gave it to God. I didn't have nothing, you know what I'm saying, to do with whatever may happen to you or whatever the case. And just if I speak on it and I feel some type of relief about it, oh well, if that's all I get, if that's all the relief and happiness and joy that I get from just knowing, hey, I put it in God's hands. This is how he saw fit to, allow it to be resolved in my favor. And speaking of resolve, Lord knows, because I had something that I prayed about. I wanted God to resolve last year. Woke up July 13th, which is what, today's the 8th or the 9th. And yeah, we a couple less than a week shy of that date coming up. And I asked God for to resolve it. And oh Lord, this must be wild. I'm feeling this pressure or whatever. And the way that he allowed it to happen or come about as far as resolve, it was crazy to me. So I'm just like, okay. Well, it didn't seem crazy at first. It just seemed like, okay, this is just what it is. This is the way he's allowing it to happen. But then it turned into something that appeared really crazy, which leads to, when I spoke about false charges being pressed on me. And again, just can't get away from that word false and lying and just deceitful. And the Bible say that the devil is the father of lies, and basically if you're a liar, that's your daddy, that's your father. And not change the words, that's your father. So there's a lot of people out here that really just know the devil as their daddy, as their father. And they pattern their father in his footsteps and just make sure they like it. Everything is deceitful. Everything is withholding information. Everything is put a little truth in there to spice it up, but it's still a whole lot. So it's messy. So yeah, what I was getting at was, I feel some kind of pressure or strain on me because false charges have been pressed on me. Nobody have made it right. They just sit back and they wait and they laugh. They want to see what happened. Like literally, they just laugh and mock and gloat and all this that, and the third. And like I said, I did see some messed up stuff when I was a teenager and a child or whatever. And I'm just trying to write it off. Bottom line, you reap what you sow. There's an age of understanding, accountability, all of that. I believe that. We don't necessarily know what that is. It could be 12. It could be different for other people. But God knows. So, he gave us a conscience. He did teach us, not teach, but, he gave us something that helps us to know right from wrong. And, some people just go past what their conscience tells them. Their conscience might tell you, don't do this, and you go do it anyway. I have been guilty of doing some of those things, like I said, when I was younger. Like, your hand ain't supposed to go in the cookie jar. You knew you ain't supposed to do that. You did it. And that's what happened. But yeah, and yeah, you got consequences for that. So yeah, there's some people that's really been like seemingly getting away with some stuff, and I just at this point, after I seen what God had done or allowed, where other people were coming at me, and I mean literally had people looking at me with a look to kill, and had people pressing false charges, trying to make them sick. And where those people are today, and it may sound harsh, but they're in a grave, like and it had nothing to do with me. It was either natural causes or it was either something else just caught up in that life that they was living. I just be like, well, Lord, it don't pay to try to make no moves or try to be spiteful and get people back or hold grudges. It pays to actually pray that they get their lives together while it's time, get their life right, because God is real. And he will respond on behalf of his people. If he marked you and chose you as his royal priesthood, best believe he will act on your behalf. And especially you doing right and you got favor with him, he will act on your behalf. Oh my goodness, it's just, ooh, it's crazy. I'm gonna stop right here. I'm gonna put a part two on, but I'm gonna handle some business real quick. But yeah, I'm coming back soon.